What is up, everybody? My name is Chris. We are here telling extra normal stories for abnormal times. Alongside me is...
Brianna Kaye.
Here she is, in the flesh. How are you?
I am fantastic now that I have my own bathroom.
Yeah, so we had a bunch of good... And before we go on to that, make sure, as I always forget, make sure you like, subscribe, leave ratings if they're positive. If they're not so positive, maybe keep it to yourself. But follow us on all the meds, all the social meds, everything. We're on all of them at Extra Normal Podcast. I think on Twitter we're actually Extra Normal P, which is a mistake that I reveled in. But anyway, so you have finally have your fancy place to shit in. Congratulations.
Yeah, the remodel from hell finally
Hell froze over.
is finished, and
Is that the phrase?
What?
Hell froze over. Yeah, that's a phrase.
I guess. Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I know what you were trying to do there, and I got it. I just ignored it.
Welcome to the Hotel California.
So yeah, I have
It's
the
a
bathroom
crazy
of my
place.
dreams. It's almost finished. I had to finish wallpapering it, which I do a lot, like on my live on TikTok, like my random
But the key for me is
lives
that
are this and wallpapering.
yeah, and the joys for me is that I'm an introvert, so I am glad that random people are out of my house. That is the pure pleasure. We are here pre-Halloween. If you're listening to it after Halloween, so sorry, but it's Halloween every day around here, so just keep listening. But we are fully deep in the Halloween festivities. We've already done a couple activities. We're going to do some more. Yeah, but we're here for it. Hey, did you know? I got to tell you before we also move on to our main topic. Just recently I pulled up a story that I read that they found apparently underneath the Pembroke department store, which is somewhere in America. Mm-hmm. I think they found hundreds of skeletons from like old-timey medieval Europe or something like that. Not medieval Renaissance, whenever.
Oh shit!
After 1492, if it was in the States, I guess.
I wish I could have been there to help, like, find them.
Can I ask you
I
a
would have
question?
liked to have seen their wardrobe. You know?
Well, I don't think there was much left. Can I ask you a question?
I mean, there was probably something. Like, were they in, like, a sarcophagi?
No, I think they were just
Bodies? Like,
laid
they just
around,
dumped them?
just laid around. Is there, so there's always, like, you always hear, like, the myth of, like, ancient Indian burial grounds. It's, like, cursed ground, right?
Yeah.
Do you think there's any European, like, of European descent, like, cursed mass graves that, like, they're, like, I mean, it makes sense because the natives were, like...
Here in America or just in general?
In general.
Oh, yeah. Like, I think the probably one of the most is probably what we had talked about in our last series of vampires was Elizabeth. Like, all those, like, all that, the stockpile of bodies, like, just the vibe that you would get. Like, say now, like, it's been centuries since, and they've built, like, pavement over that, and maybe there's homes now over that. You know that fucking land's haunted as fuck.
Well, if there's any haunting, it's
sure.
above Elizabeth Bathory's
100%.
house, old house. I saw that story and that fascinating. But really, the meat of tonight, the crux of tonight, because we are deep in the heart of Halloween, and as a diabetic, I got candy on the brain. We're going to be talking about best treats, banned treats, deadly sweets.
Diabetes.
And the Candyman himself.
Diabetes.
Diabetes. I have the diabetes.
Is diabetes.
So, I guess you could say that for me, just as a lead into this story, every single one of these candies are deadly to me. It's all death. It's all death.
Well, no. Not the sugar-free gummy bear that was once created.
Well, let's get into that, because that's one. I think we both found that story of banned candies.
I did a very short version of it, but like when who's the maker? Herpes? Herpes?
No, it's not. The candy company's not Herpes. No, I don't. It's not Herpes.
I don't know how to say it.
Cerebro, right?
Cerebro policy.
X-Men. Haribo, right? Haribo.
Yeah. So they thought it'd be a bright idea to come out with some gummies.
For us with diabetes.
And Speak for yourself.
Banging shit. That one's on me.
And so they had decided to use, instead of sugar, a substitute that is called lidocaine.
Yeah.
But realized that it's also used in laxatives. So imagine even just like one of those, the mini like gummy bear bags, you eat that whole thing, because I mean most kids would, or let's see, the diabetes people would eat that, and then you immediately get the shits and it give you stomach aches. There was a lot of like bad reviews around it.
So we had that growing up.
The sugar-free one?
The sugar-free, and there was always
Do you remember that?
You better only eat like fucking 2, otherwise you better book out some time.
Did you even know that was like a side effect until?
No, well, it was kind of almost well known that those candies those sugar-free gummy bears would just completely give you the shits if you ate too many.
I always remember, I feel like we've come a long way with sugar-free candy.
Yeah, because they don't give you the shits. I personally
remember, I remember going to like C's Candy and like being like, oh, the sugar-free one's better for you. And I always remember it didn't give me the shits.
It tastes like garbage.
I remember, no, it was good, but it hurt my stomach. Like it made me super gassy. And that's why I was like, every time I eat this stuff, like I don't like the way it makes me feel. I'm not down with this shit, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I did find that story, and that fucking tickled me, because I remember growing up that shit. Like that was like fucking in there. Like it was, it was, and it was a thing. Like it was a spoken thing, like do not eat too many of these because you will get massive mad diarrhea.
Right.
That was one we pulled up. One that I pulled up that's like, I found a few, and this leads to like maybe what we shouldn't be ingesting. Is, did you hear about the multiple companies that fucking had lead in their candy?
I did. So scary.
There's two companies that I found. One was Lucas, which as growing up we were both, I think everybody around us was obsessed with fucking Lucas. Like that was, and even now, like Lucas fucking candies is a shit, man. Like, like people love that, and it was that powder shit that made things like sour.
I used to snort the lemon, because they had different flavors, right?
Yeah.
I would snort the lemon one in 8th grade. My friends would dare me to in school, and I used to snort.
Well, you can't do that in Illinois because it's banned in Illinois because
people used to snort it.
Well, people used to snort it because it was like, and so they were on the verge of banning it because they're like, this is too much like drugs, kids.
Oh my God.
But then what really tipped it over the edge for a lot of people, including Illinois in a statewide ban, was the fact that they found lead in some of the Lucas candy.
Well, yeah.
And so they were like, no more. Like this is done. And so that it's still banned in Illinois, but like that's insane. And that's not the craziest thing is that's not the only. Apparently there's like been a few other companies that have found lead in it, like the toxic waste. Remember toxic waste brand stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently in the Cherry Chew Bar, they found fucking lead in that shit. Like I think apparently it was like twice the legal amount of fucking lead that was in there. So there's been a few candy companies that have been fucking banned.
Well, I hate to disappoint you, but there's a bunch of lead in our water, bruh.
There's lead everywhere. You're gonna eat lead. So yeah, there's apparently like beware. There's a shit ton of likely it's shit ton of lead. Not only like an insane amount of sugar in the candy you're gonna be doling out to the kids this year. There's probably some lead in it.
Probably.
Hey, I gotta ask you? How much do you believe in the like the urban legends of the laced candies, like the razor blades and the fucking? I'm assuming this now.
I was paranoid as fuck.
Do you believe in it though? At this point, do you believe in it?
I think I'm a paranoid.
Are you like the local news, like mom. Open up your candy?
I think I'm a paranoid mom, so I think I think.
Do you think? But do you really think it happens?
Sometimes.
You think so? I think the amount, maybe once. Maybe twice.
Maybe.
In the whole fucking existence.
Oh my gosh, when we were doing our research for the show, and as most of you guys know that I am religious, but I'm very open-minded to religion, and I love all different types of religions.
Yeah. It's very worldly in that way.
But there was this Christian guy, I guess he used to be a Satanist, and like now he's a pastor and all this, and he was saying how like we shouldn't celebrate Halloween, and he was saying that, like, he's like, why would you celebrate Halloween when all the witches and warlocks are putting spells on your candy for your kids to eat? And I just was like, I don't know, that just reminded when you said,
evil,
you know, when
candy.
people put like the shit in the candy, poison and whatever, but like, but you know, that was only in the 70s when that whole hysteria happened. It was just in the 70s. So that it went from like people making homemade candy to pass out, which I think is really cool. Like, you know, that like there's that one house on the block that, oh, I can't wait to have that candy every year. And then there's that one house you never want to go back to. We used to have, without mentioning, I mean, they don't live there anymore, thank God. But there was one neighbor of ours. I don't know if you remember. I remember every year we take our daughter the candy, and sometimes I would eat her candy. Obviously, she was way too young, and you know that's the whole thing with the parents. That's what we do. But the candy always tasted off, and like I felt like the candy to me, what it seemed like is that it was like frozen, like from the year before. Like it tasted just fucking like stale or whatever, like thawed out. I was like, this bitch probably gets it the day after Halloween when it goes on sale, fucking freezes it.
It's savvy.
Is it savvy?
Yeah, it's savvy.
Because when I was doing my research on Hershey's chocolate, like they're doing all kinds of stuff to keep that shit fresh.
Oh, the preservatives in like the,
you know, so
we named this like banned and deadly candies. We named this episode, but just the general candies alone are fucking, they're not good for you. Skittles have a bunch of fucking random dyes in them.
Yeah.
Three Musketeers, one of the
Musketeers
shittiest.
or Musketeers?
Musketeers. Thank you very much, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Three Musketeers is maybe the shittiest candy bar and the least healthy candy.
I don't know why, but I feel like you would like that candy. I don't know.
Three Musketeers?
Yeah.
Are we gonna do? When are we gonna slip
do
in?
it.
You want to do the draft?
Yeah, I already
know.
I already know that one of mine is like in the 90 percentile of amazingness.
Hold on, I'm taking your notes. You better write this shit down. Or you want me to write it? I'll record it.
No, go ahead.
Here, I'll record it for posterity. Let me put my name. Are we doing rock, paper, scissors to go first? What are we doing to go first? To see who goes first.
Ladies first, so you can go.
What the fuck? Oh, okay. Well, I'll take that.
I know you will.
No, let's do rock, paper, scissors. You ready?
Okay.
Ah, shit. Okay, you go first.
Ladies first, motherfucker.
Just so you know, because it is Halloween time and it is Candy Palooza during October, we are going to do a fantasy draft for the best candy. We're going to throw this poll up on social medias to see who wins. Take your vote on who has the best the starting five of candy. We'll figure out how to parse out the results. But you're gonna be choosing what you think is the best fucking candy to be doled out on Halloween. Like, what is a number one candy that someone child or adult, would want on Halloween? What is your number one treat for Halloween?
For myself?
No tricks.
For my
whatever you think is the most. Whatever.
Like kid me or like adult me?
We're doing a poll. I think.
I feel like what I used to like as a kid isn't as popular now.
Soft fucking caramels?
No, like I know for me, my brother, and my cousins, Crunch bars, like those.
You can pick that. You're not going to win.
Crunch bars,
you can pick
that's what we wanted.
What is it? You gotta. Okay, to plant this out, you gotta. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a help on this one.
Okay.
You gotta pick something where you think it's gonna be the most popular. Don't think necessarily about yourself. What do you think is the most sought after, most popular candy to get on Halloween? Number one.
I'm nervous.
Don't be.
Can I pick two?
There's not many states. You can, but you have to.
The
wait
top one. All right. Fuck it. Fuck it. Snickers.
Okay.
Thank you.
Snickers.
Thank you.
Shit. That's definitely gonna be number one. I'm gonna go Skittles. I'm gonna have to go Skittles.
Can somebody, like, whether you're, I don't care how you're watching us, if you even want to email us, if you're listening to this just on podcast, but for our live people, can somebody, like, please back me up when
make this motherfucker shut up?
When I say that, what the fuck is that candy you like?
Oh, we're gonna do, okay.
What is it called?
Hold on.
It's disgusting.
Hold on. I know what you're talking about. We're gonna do 5. Okay, here we go. We're gonna do a draft of 5 best, most, at least amongst the public. We all have our favorites that may not be popular choices, but we're gonna do best candies.
Okay, my number 2.
Top 5 worst candies. So let's go top candies first.
Okay,
so you got Snickers and
my
Skittles
number 2
off the board.
is M&M's, motherfucker. What would you say?
Wait, should we?
Because for me, when I was trick or treating, you better not give me none of that.
Wait, is that
nasty shit that you like? Give me some Snickers and give me some M&M's.
Okay,
all the chocolate.
So wait, is that? Are you allowed to count like peanut M&Ms and almond M&Ms?
M&M's is all across the board. Don't even try to fucking play that.
I'll give that to you, but
you'll give that to me. I'll give you something later.
Probably not. Number 2, shit. I'm gonna go. I think number 2. I'm gonna stay. Okay, I'm gonna stay in the soft candy market and say Starburst. I always loved a fucking Starburst in there.
I know you watched like a video. Already.
I didn't cheat. I did not cheat. You're in good position because Snickers and M&M's is really good. Really good.
Usually I'm in a good position.
Probably not. So number 1 and number 2 for you is Snickers and M&M's. Skittles and Starburst are off the board. What is your number 3 pick?
Gummy bears bouncing here and there and everywhere.
I thought I might have prepared for this, but I didn't prepare one.
Because it's like, because then you have like, I remember as a kid, it was like, give me that chocolate. All right, well now I gotta clean my palate a little bit. Like, give me something chewy.
You know what? You can have your gummy bears because you know what I'm gonna fucking say for number 3?
Crunch bars.
Reese's Pieces peanut butter cups. Boom.
Yep, that's a good one. That honestly, that will probably would be my number 1.
Yeah, but you weren't
Crunch bars as a kid was definitely my number 1.
What was your problem, Crunch bars? What the fuck was wrong with you? Yeah, with the one with the weird Crispies in it?
Yes.
Gross.
Something about it as a kid.
Okay, go ahead.
I loved it.
So you have, so far, just to recap, you have Snickers, M&M's, gummy bears. Off the board is Skittles, Starburst, and Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yeah.
What is your number 4 pick?
My number 4. Do 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 do.
Fucking give him answer. I can't get that high.
Okay.
I'm
gonna say Dots.
You've lost the plot.
What do you mean?
It's the fucking worst.
For you. Fucking Tootsie Roll.
It should have been my number 1, but I know that's going to be a controversial pick.
Can anybody live, do you guys like Tootsie Rolls?
Hold on. Just fucking...
The fruit ones are the worst.
You know what?
What?
No. Not yet.
What?
Not yet. For my number 4 pick, I am going to go with the classic, just little mini Hershey's bar. Classic. Not a care in the world. Just a straight up waxy chocolate for me. Give me that wax.
Is it Crunch Bar by Hershey's? The one I'm trying?
Yeah. If you want to choose that for number 5, I mean, this is the lower end of the picks.
No, I already, yeah.
So, Snickers, M&M's, gummy bears, and Dots. But off the board is Skittles, Starburst, Reese's, and Hershey's. What is your 5th and last picked?
I'm going to say... What's the name of the lollipops that say pop on it and there's like a watermelon flavor? The ones that have like the gum inside?
I think they're gum pops.
That's not what they're called.
Whatever. We'll put that in as a placeholder.
My name is Gummy Bear.
Gum
Delta code is hilarious.
My name is Gummy Bear. I'm a gummy bear. I'm a gummy bear. So just give you the lollipops with gum.
Okay.
Gum lollipops. We'll figure out the title.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Like, I don't like watermelon, but I love the watermelon flavor ones of those.
Should I be savage? I feel like I almost should be savage and just do dum-dums. Just kind of fucking undercut you.
Dum-dums is like... Wait, are dum-dums they're
the little
drops?
lollipops.
The gum? Oh, yeah, you can do that. Those are the ones with lead in them, I think.
You know what? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to, with the low pick, I am going to fucking... Because this is a controversial...
Tootsie Roll.
This is a controversial pick, but I am going to choose fucking Tootsie Rolls because I love it. I got to go with my heart on number 5.
Hey, I like 69 Boys, and I'll do the Tootsie Roll dance. But when it comes to eating that fucking candy, no thank you.
Okay. So this is our recap, everybody. So we'll post this on social media and see who wins. So, Brianna, you have chose Snickers, M&M's, Gummy Bears, Dots, and the gum-centered lollipops. I, on my board, have Skittles, Starburst, Reese's Cups, Hershey's, and Tootsie Rolls. Who do you think? What's your prediction? How do you feel about your picks? Starting off on the grandest.
I think you have 2 really strong ones, and I think I have 2 really strong ones. So we'll see.
We're gonna see what happens. So let's go. Let's move on to before we move. Let's get back into some of the candy and stay tuned for fucking the worst candies. I think we all have some in mind that spring up to mind. There's some likely candidates, but we're gonna choose 5 of the worst. But let's get back into what's happened with candy. Did you hear about the 2013 student in Ukraine who did a little experiment on gum? Oh no! So there was I believe he was a science student who was experimenting. He was off from school, and so he was just kind of fucking around during the holidays, I think. Yeah. And he decided he loved gum, and he loved sour gum, and he really wanted to make his gum last longer. Right. So he did experiments just for fun, just for kicks, all over the house, and started mixing standard gum with different recipes. And he decided that citrus juice would be a great way. Right before he popped it in his mouth, he dipped it in citrus juice, and it would keep that sour taste lasting for a long time. Mm-hmm. One problem. Uh-oh. He thought he was dipping it in citrus juice, but he was actually dipping it in a chemical that was explosive. So when he put it in his mouth, bit down, blew up his jaw, dead on the scene. So that's a bad way to take in gum.
Wait, but I have so many questions. Why, like...
First one is why.
Why did
Second one is why.
Why did he put it...
Why did he
How did you misplace the dippy jar...
The dippy jar. Your little dippy jar.
Of orange or citrus.
Yeah.
And then you just have the same exact jar over here that's these, like, toxic nuclear... like, something just doesn't add up to me there. Like, yeah, you got to keep them separated.
Listen, I was resisting the urge, but I knew you couldn't.
Adjusting my boobs.
I could tell. Yeah, no, that's insane. That's a bad fucking way to experiment. And yeah, like you said, just keep it fucking separate. Just don't have your citrus juice next to, like, we wouldn't put like rat poison in the same shelf as like fucking our spices.
I mean, yeah, it's almost like somebody put them up to this.
You think so?
That's
a real
conspiracy
theory, Brianna. You think someone?
That's a real mystery.
Swapped out the
who
citrus
was there?
juice.
Like, who was there?
I think the story that I saw is he was alone. So
that's what they want you to believe. I'm sure all the camera footage is gone too.
Conveniently in his apartment, all his inside apartment cameras.
He was doing it. I thought you said he was doing it in a factory.
No, he was just doing it at home. He was doing home experiments.
That's weird that he has those chemicals.
Yeah, you think the guy who's trying to make his own gum sour is not a little bizarre? He's already going to be a little bizarre.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't have any information on this. All I have to say is tuna tidbits.
Tuna
tidbits.
Have
you ever had them before?
No, is that a candy?
That's a candy.
Is there tuna in there?
It's made with real tuna and a bunch of chemicals and a lot of sugar. And
it has sugar in it. I'll take it.
Want to buy them.
Do they sell them? Tuna tidbits? Hold on.
I kind of want. I think people like them in Asia.
Tuna tidbits.
But I kind of want to just buy them and secretly, I don't know how, sneak them into your food and make you eat them.
This is like cat treats.
No, there's a candy called tuna tidbits.
Okay. Well, no, thank you. I think I'm gonna pass on that one. That is disgusting.
I just thought, who's like? I mean, you have to be really out of ideas to want to infuse tuna into candy.
Yeah.
And I know people like the savory and sweet and the different types of, the bitter, the sour, and even like, do you know that Skittles was a Skittles that came out with spicy?
No.
With the spicy Skittles, because there are so many different variations of it.
I don't know.
So it's like, that's like the next level, like going from spicy to like
spicy to fish. Yeah, no thanks. I don't.
Not in candy
I don't fuck
form.
with seafood, so that's like.
Yeah, but
it's 100% off board for me.
Nasty.
Yeah, nasty. Totally nasty. I took a sneak peek at your notes, and I noticed that
you did. Get the fuck away. You always do.
I can't help it. I noticed that you had candy cigarettes.
I did something just short on that because I thought it was kind of ironic that like in the mid 60s they make these little like cigarette gums that kids can smoke, but like that time though, like they didn't know that like cigarettes could cause cancer and stuff, so it was kind of like, oh look, you're like mommy. But I'm surprised at that point they didn't even let the kids smoke, because if
yeah, and the craziest part about those things is you could literally, I remember we would mimic the smoke coming out because they put sugar in there, so you could literally fucking replicate mommy and daddy taking a puff out of their cig. Like,
right.
It's insane. And those were around for a very long time. And actually, I think now that I've seen them on like ice cream trucks now, because I think now that they're like, smoking is so, it's well known that it's not great for you. And there's the people who smoke is diminished significantly.
Right.
So they've actually, those cigarettes have like creeped back up as like, I think they do it as like a nostalgia thing. And look how fucked up this was.
Yeah.
Another thing is they did, but that was ill-advised. Did you see the lollipipes?
I did see those.
Yeah.
Which was crazy. But like you can go into that, but I could even one up that. Did you see the hippie syringes?
Oh, the syringe, mimicking the syringes?
I was like, honestly, as weird as those things are, I would want to buy them.
Oh, fuck yeah.
But I understand why they took them off the market. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like a bad choice. It seems like a bad choice all around, especially because, I don't know, the amount of clout you would get for it, it's going to draw attention, and so it's going to get you banned. Like, but that, yeah. And even with the lollipipes, they said that their advertisement was clearly for adults. Like,
right.
But it creeped into gas stations, so like kids were starting to buy it because they were fascinated by it. Yeah. They were even like, this is fucking flame proof. Like, you are gonna fucking smoke weed out of this shit. Like, this is, there's no doubt about it. But it got into kids' hands, and then it got banned, obviously, once they fucking, they found out about it. But you know, the craziest thing is, a thing that was banned that seems harmless is, have you heard about Kinder Eggs? Mm-mm. So Kinder Eggs are those little chocolates, and they have a little toy inside. Mm-hmm. They've been banned, apparently, since like the 30s. This is where the law originated.
Right.
And apparently there's 50,000 that get smuggled in annually. There's a whole like black market business for Kinder Eggs. They're back,
right? Because I feel like
there's a version of them that's back.
Okay, it's like half candy and half toy now or something.
Yeah,
right?
Because the issue with Kinder Eggs is that they have chocolate on the inside of the toy, so
it's like literally like the shell is like an egg, and then the
like a hollow
center
shell
part is the toy, and kids are just eating the whole thing.
Well, they thought like that was a fear that kids would be like, oh, chocolate. Oh, look, there's also like a gummy or some bullshit, and they took a bite out of it.
Right, exactly.
So those are not allowed, but they still make it in, and apparently there's like mimicked ones that like are floating.
Well, now I'm like, why stop trying? Now they have like one that's like it's a chocolate like eggshell, and then there's just like hard candy inside. Like it's just like at that point, just stop trying.
Apparently Cadbury eggs are banned too because of trademark, because of fucking the big chocolate Hershey's. I
heard Hershey's has their little hands in it, so they
sued them.
They tweak their formula a little bit to make it more bitter tasting. Like, like all over like Europe, they think that our chocolate, it tastes bitter. Like they think our chocolate tastes better? They think bitter. Like they think that our chocolate tastes like vomit, literally. And they're not wrong, because
I like American chocolate, god damn it.
Because Hershey's, like they're like
waxy, disgusting.
Yeah, their ingredient to make it last longer is the butyric acid. And that's in vomit. Like that's so
wait, there's literally vomit in Hershey's?
No, it's basically like the same thing that you would be able to
acid reflux that you would come
but it's more acidic, and we're used to that, so we don't know that taste. And it's funny because like I love, like when we went to England, I bought all kinds of chocolate and I thought it was good. It's just different. It's just a preference, and they we use more of like the powdered milk, where theirs is more like pure, so it's it makes sense. But I, on a happier note, when I was like doing the research on Hershey's, what? You
just said unhappy. It tickled my.
Well, because I thought that people always like dissing on Hershey,
your what, Chris?
But like he, when he died, him and his wife couldn't have kids.
Wait, who is Hershey?
You want to know the story of Hershey?
Briefly. Don't give me a whole. This is not a historical lesson.
Milton Hershey.
Fucking Milton.
I
don't know if I want to hear more about him. His name is fucking Milton. Milton
Hershey built a milk processing plant in 1896.
Got it.
So he could create his own recipe.
Got it.
In 1899, he developed the top secret Hershey's chocolate process. And in 1900, he developed the chocolate bar. And in 1907, the Hershey's Kisses came.
So when did he first make his first piece of chocolate?
So he was, before he had got into chocolate, he was doing caramel. But once he got into the chocolate, so his first processing plant was built in 1896. So prior to that, it was all caramel, and he was trying to make caramel, and it was just, he actually sold his caramel business for like $1 million to get into chocolate. So he used all the money that he made to he was really obsessed with chocolate. Good thing he did. And so,
is it Werther's who bought the caramel?
The who?
Werther's originals, were they?
Oh, I don't know.
Who bought the caramel?
That's a good question.
It doesn't matter.
But I thought this was kind of cool during the Prohibition era, because obviously alcohol was like the top seller. But when Prohibition went on for like 13 years. Chocolate, Hershey's chocolate was like the number one thing people were buying then. So it was like his like golden age of chocolate, because he was doing very well. He had made, I thought this was kind of interesting too. He had created the first heat-resistant candy for soldiers in World War II in very hot climates, which I thought was really cool. How he did that, it's baffling to me, because I know my Hershey's, when we go camping and stuff, my Hershey's chocolate's always melting, but I'm okay with it because I still love it. When he made this heat-resistant chocolate, it was so popular that the Apollo project took some to space with them too in 1975. In 1907, Hershey's opened an amusement park. It's still open today in Pennsylvania, which I had no idea that existed. Him and his wife couldn't have kids, and this is where like I felt like we should kind of glorify Hershey's.
You definitely are glorifying.
No, this is the reason why. So him and his wife couldn't have kids. So they founded Hershey's boarding school in 1909.
Got it.
And when he died, he left $60 million to the school and still gives 30% of profits to the school today.
The company does, not him.
The company.
He's long croaked.
But that's, and they still follow, they follow him today. And I think there's over like 2,000 kids that are boarded in this school today, and still does a lot. So that, for me, I was like, all right, your chocolate might taste like vomit, but you're a good person.
Good on you. Good on you, buddy. Apparently, so one of the things that I found too is that you, like, if you're planning on, I don't know if we're planning on going to Madrid this Christmas. I wish. That'd be nice. But if you do,
maybe Barcelona first.
Well, if you go to Madrid, make sure that you get our little one candy before, because there no longer are the three wise men going to be throwing candy anymore. It's outlawed without proper fencing.
The three wise.
Apparently, Madrid has this festival where they take the three wise men and they're down a parade and they start fucking chucking candy at the kids, and the kids love it because they get candy thrown at their head and they can just open their mouth and just have a fucking Jolly Rancher go right down their gullet.
I had no idea.
The problem is, in 2013, someone, a little child, got a little too amped, and they were trying to grab the candy. Mm-hmm. That child was unfortunately run over by one of the parade floats and passed away. So no more candy throwing in Madrid, Spain, for Christmas time. So make sure that if we go, make sure you get Clementine her candy, because you can't throw that shit anymore. That shit ain't gonna fly. Let's finish this draft off with the worst. Can I go first since you went first last time?
Oh.
No, let's do another rock, paper, scissors. Let's keep this completely
okay.
above board.
Hey. Okay.
Why does this pen suck so bad?
Because you suck so bad.
Yeah, brother.
Ready?
I think so. With the new pen, I think I'll be ready for the world. Where's my syringe pen? I got a fun novelty syringe pen. Okay.
Clementine stole it.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Ready?
No, count to
Ready?
3. Give us a 3 count.
1, 2, 3. Fuck.
Okay, number 1.
Number 1. What is the worst fucking candy? The worst. We're going worst to least worst.
Oh, God.
In your head.
Oh, God.
There's a lot to choose from.
I feel like I'm going to say flavored Tootsie Roll.
That's actually a really good choice. So the flavored ones,
those are just like don't even like buy those. Nobody wants those.
You know why they get them? It's because they come in those like bags.
Are they the cheapest? They come in the cheapest bag.
Yeah,
Nobody wants those.
Bags.
I'd rather have air.
I don't believe in this. I really don't believe in this, but I'm going to say, just as a pure, like, least popular, is candy corn. I think candy corn is, like, so... People fucking despise candy corn. They either love it or despise it, but I think there's more people who despise it. Candy corn is off the board, and you said flavored Tootsies. What is your second pick for the worst fucking candy?
Oh, my God. There are another kind of those taffy, those yucky taffy things. They're like...
Can I help you? Should I... Laffy Taffy you're talking about?
Is it Laffy Taffy?
We'll just put... We'll put
it's
trick
like
or treat.
It's those
taffy.
flavored... There's like strawberry one. There's like
I know
different...
what you're talking about.
I fucking hate those.
They're gross.
And I always feel like they're kind of slightly open a little bit. And it's just like... no,
I'm going to say... I am going to take one of your items from your favorite, which you think is at the top, and I'm going to throw it right down to the fucking gutter. Dots. Are fucking vile. They're fucking vile.
Why, they're gummies.
Yeah, they're vile, though. It's like if you took the fucking bile that they put in Hershey's and you added it to the 10th degree and you put it in a gummy and you made it fucking teeth pullers.
My next one is 3 Musketeers. Don't put those, don't give those out. Nobody wants those for trick-or-treating. Just don't.
Okay.
No offense to anybody who likes that shit, but no.
That's a rough one. That
nasty.
Is, listen,
Your fucking nougat. You know what nougat is?
Nougat
mostly?
Out of here. I don't know.
Air.
What is nougat?
It's air.
Well, that sounds fun,
It's like the process of like...
That sounds delightful. I'm going to say as the worst candy, I'm going to take something you've also mentioned.
Fucking dick. What?
It's going to be more different in the candy aisle.
What?
I'm going to say Crunch Bars are fucking disgusting. They're fucking disgusting. They are disgusting.
No.
And also they're disgusting.
They're not disgusting. Did you see...
Throw some Rice Krispie treats in your chocolate and fucking ruin it for me.
I should put Rice Krispie treats.
Oh, God. Crunch bars are the fucking worst for me. Like, they're not the worst. There's only a couple items that are... They're terrible, though.
How many do you have left?
So, there's 2 more left.
Okay.
So you said flavored Tootsies,
worst candy.
Trick or Treat Taffy, 3 Musketeers. Off the board for you is candy corn, dots, and Crunch bars.
No, I was gonna. I'm looking up. No, when I was doing research,
Well, use a different tab if you can do that because you're gonna get
I
yourself
thought
out
I
of
am.
the live.
Oh,
no,
I'm not.
you're not.
Oh, fuck
Get yourself out of the live.
Okay.
Almost.
There
you go. The assist goes to Chris.
Okay, what is like the candy that I always...
Do you want to take some time to think about it?
No.
Whoa.
It's like those... It's another one of those generic ones that used to go in the Stater Brothers. You get the thing. Those like hard candies.
Jolly Ranchers or...
No. Jolly Ranchers are delicious.
So we're going to say...
They're like circular.
We're going to say
I love me some Jolly Ranchers. I would have put that in my top... If there was another thing for me to put in the top 5, that would have been one of them.
Off-brand Jolly Ranchers. We're going to put
but
off-brand...
No, but it's not. But yeah, but that's...
What is it? Hard candies?
It's like those circular ones.
We'll figure it out.
And there's like a strawberry. It's like in the bag of a strawberry. But it's not that one. That one's not that bad. It's the other ones. Whatever.
Got it.
Okay, what's your next one?
I think I'm going to do... I am going to go... again, maybe slightly controversial, but I cannot fucking stand Butterfingers. I cannot. They're fucking that crisp, the weird orange. What is that cracker thing in the center?
It's so good.
What is that?
It's
Listen,
Butter Bliss.
Bart Simpson can have all the Butterfingers because I don't want.
How did you say his name right
Bart
now?
Simpson.
Okay.
Lay your fingers off my Butterfingers, or whatever he says.
No, that is definitely
Lay your
not.
fingers.
That is not on the list.
Get your fingers off my Butterfingers.
That is not on the list.
It's on my list.
Definitely not.
It's definitely on my list.
That's not going. No.
Fuck that.
Okay, is that it?
Butterfingers. Get that Butterfinger shit out of here. Throw it right in the garbage. Number 5. You want to go back to number 5?
We still have another one.
There's still one more.
Okay, this isn't a Halloween one, but it has to be Halloween, right? Or is it just all candy in the world?
Let's just go all candy in the world.
Okay, I fucking hate traditional candy canes. I don't like candy canes. Yes, they make your breath fresh, but they're okay if you put them in like hot chocolate.
It's bold.
But I don't like candy canes.
That is bold.
I don't.
You know what I hate? I'm just going to put this on here to declare my hate for it. Not even just because I think it's going to be voted the worst. But I'm going to say Kit Kat bars. That shit, I don't like it.
I love Kit Kat.
I don't fucking like it. I'm going to put it on there just as a statement. I don't think it's going to
I love Kit Kats and I love Twixes.
Look, I'm happy for you, but it's fucking disgusting. All right, so here's our list. We're going to post this on social media. Good. We did it. So we're going to post this on social media. We're going to post both our top, what we think are the popular and what we think are the worst. And we'll see who wins. I don't know what the stakes are, besides pride. Yeah. Hey, have you heard about the Candyman?
The Candyman can.
Well, the Candyman could, and he did, unfortunately. I wish the Candyman did a little less.
Yeah.
Have you heard about the Candyman of Houston fame?
No, but I'm seeing rankings right now. You're a cheater.
I'm not a cheater.
You're such a cheater.
I'm not. I did not look at any fucking rankings. What are the rankings?
Look.
Look, you got Sour Patch Kids. Someone should have chosen Sour Patch Kids. You
dropped
dropped the ball. I didn't choose fucking Reese's Peanut Butter Cups until pick 3. You had 2 other opportunities. So don't give me that bullshit.
Fuck you.
Give me that bullshit. Dean Corll, also known as the Candyman, was born in 1939 in beautiful Indiana. Mm-hmm. He very young. He was born in. Hold on, where was he born? Yeah, he was born in Indiana. Sorry. Yeah, he was. I second guessed myself on this one. You gotta believe in yourself, Chris. He was born in Indiana. Dean Corll, quiet kid. had a mom who was in and out of divorce with his dad. Kind of throughout it. Mom decided to start a candy company. She started out of her house. And it was called, they started with her then husband, and it was called the Pecan Prince. And young Dean Corll would work the candy shop, like basically out of their house. Yeah. And he would work day and night, him and his brother, to make candy. So he was this renowned candy maker. He moved for a while to Indiana, but he moved actually back to Texas, where his mom then went on to form the Corll Candy Company in Houston Heights, which is an area of Texas. And he became beloved around the community because he would go. So whenever you make candy, there's always there's deformities, there's stuff that just is not suitable for market, but is plentiful. It's okay for consumption. And so he would hand out candy to the disenfranchised. And that area, Houston Heights, that they were in was pretty bad area. So he would hand out candy. So he became known around the area as the Candyman. And also the Pied Piper was another nickname of his. Unfortunately, Dean Corll had skeletons in his closet. And he looks
like a creep. Is that him?
He looks like a creep because you'll find out. One, he at the age of I think in 1967 he started murdering. After he got out of the service, he started kidnapping young boys and luring them in by being this beloved, former candy maker. Because actually the company was gone at that point, but he started.
Did he sell it, or his parents?
I think it went under, and so for a couple of years he wasn't out very long out of the candy business before he got his comeuppance. But so he would go around, basically kidnapping, luring teenagers and young men in with the promise of booze and a place to stay.
Sounds like Dahmer.
And weed and stuff like that. Yeah, it does. It sounds eerily familiar. And he would go and torture them on a plywood board, and he also rigged his van out to be plywood. The interesting part is that he developed two friendships, both with two of his associates, who became his associates, basically his henchmen in death. Their names were David Owen Brooks, no relation, Elmer Wayne Henley.
I knew I hated that last name for a reason.
He was actually supposed to kill Elmer Wayne Henley, but he took a liking to him, so he spared him, and he actually brought him in on his ring. And he would go around doing this, and actually these two young boys, underage, would groom these people he would kidnap, and they would lure them in, and he would pay them $200 every time. Oh. The two teenagers, which was his system, and the
how could they trust him?
I mean, I don't know how you get to the point where they trusted him, but he would do this all the time, and the teenage boys helped bury the bodies, and he got up to 28 victims at this point, all ranging from about 13 to 20 years old. His demise actually came because I believe Henley, one of the boys, brought one of the potential victims there, but Henley also brought a girl, Rhonda Williams. So this Henley boy, who was a henchman of this vicious, evil creep by the name of Dean Corll, who's known as a Candyman, who is just murdering teenagers. Yeah. Just openly and having just paying off these two teenagers to be his henchmen. Well, Henley brought over Timothy Curley, but he also brought over the other friend who happened to be a girl. And so Dean Corll, when he brought him over, Dean Corll was furious because Dean Corll wanted to get his little murder on. And so he chewed out Henley and said, "You've ruined fucking everything. This is ridiculous. You've ruined the whole plan. You've exposed us." And you just chewed him out, and then he left for a little while. And both Henley and the girl and the other boy fell asleep in the house. When they woke up, they were in handcuffs.
Oh, no. Could they have been that stupid? They must have been. Is this like hillbilly? Where the fuck are these people?
This was in Texas, Houston Heights area.
I mean, some parts.
So at that point, obviously Henley was planning to do stuff, and Corll being a dutiful servant, convinced Corll that he was gonna help him, that he was sorry, and that he was gonna rape Rhonda Williams while Dean Corll took care of Timothy, because Dean Corll wanted nothing to do with girls. He wanted nothing to do with murdering girls.
Interesting. Was he gay?
Yes. He was closeted. He wasn't openly gay, but he was closeted.
Huh.
There was complaints about him hitting on teenagers when the candy factory was still around.
Oh my God.
So, excuse me. So, this Henley, this teenage boy, he was a henchman who was being paid $200 a pop to basically give over to Corll, the Candyman, these boys to murder, and he would help dispose of the bodies. He convinced Corll to uncuff him and saying, I'll help you out. This is going to be our thing. Once that happened, backing up, Rhonda Williams, as her handcuffs, said, "Are you going to do anything?" She said, "Is this a joke?" He said, "No." She said, "Well, what are you going to do?" And so that snapped him. And so he convinced Corll to let him out of handcuffs, because I'm going to, quote unquote, help you murder these people. I'm going to take care of Rhonda. She said, "What are you going to do about it?" And that snapped Henley. And so Henley took Corll's gun and shot him 6 times and murdered Corll. His henchman murdered him. And he called the police and he said, "Listen, there's a dead body." And Corll was infamous around the area because he was, a VP of a pretty substantial candy company and stuff like that. He was known around the community. Right. And so Henley said, I helped him murder all these people. And so both Henley and Brooks, the 2 henchmen, were convicted of murder, and one of them died of natural causes. The other one's still in prison for aiding and abetting Dean Corll. But Dean Corll ended up dying in his own house at the hands of his own henchmen. I found that fascinating. He's known as the Candyman.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild. I wonder if that's where the Candyman
I don't think so. No, because the story of the movie Candyman is different. He was known as a Candyman because he was a creeper who handed out free candy. The kids loved him, and because he handed out free candy. Right.
Yeah. So they probably never saw that coming.
He was always seen around the community as mild-mannered, and all that stuff. But he ended up murdering 28 boys.
Okay, so I wanted to just touch base on this really quick. Have you heard of...
No. Yes.
I don't even fucking know the name of it. Hold on. Basically,
we're really falling off the rails.
This is great.
Chugging towards the
end. No, this was actually a really interesting story. So it stems from a young entrepreneur with the mindset that he wanted to come here. He came from Italy. And he wanted to come here to start his own candy company. And he decided that he was going to move to Arizona. He had a brother that was there, and he worked for his factory. Yeah. And then he decided to take over and buy the factory. And so in Arizona, as you know, there's lots of natives. And for centuries, the Pima and the other tribes used the Viznaga's cooked pulp as food and its spines as fishing hooks. And candy from the plant was well-known a homemade treat in Mexico. But the Donofrio's crystallized cactus, that's the same Donofrio, crystallized cactus candy marked its first industry product in the United States. And so it was basically made from this barrel cactus. Yeah. And it became the number one candy from the 1800s all the way to the 1900s. But eventually, people started to fear that the cactus was going to go extinct. So they kind of made, you know how they do that today, like they make like certain laws where you can't have it. So kind of, so now they use like different types of cactuses, but like learning about this type of cactus, and they said like the way that he crystallized it and recooked it, the texture and the taste is supposed to be like a gumdrop. And like, I want to find this. Like, I want to find the original one. It's got to be somewhere, right? It has to
be, maybe.
But he even made this elaborate story, like saying that he has descendants from Mexico, and the legend of the Viznaga, and how it all, like this whole marketing campaign with like this picture was the actual like on their packaging. So it was like this whole storyline of you wanted this candy because it had this like crazy story behind it by the native people, but it worked for him, you know. So yeah, it was actually really interesting. I stumbled on that on accident. I think we should put it in like our link and stuff just to know. Like, it's sad because like we look at like candy today, right? And we like going back like in history, like Hershey's and how they've been around for a really long time. And look at how long, even though Hershey's gone and things have been modified with the new company that's taken them over. But tracing back to like when they started was, you know, in the 1900s, and we don't even hear about this cactus, this original cactus candy. Yeah, we know that there's like cactus cooler, and there are different types of cactus candy, but not this
Cactus Jack the wrestler.
This specific cactus. Now I want to try it. I really want to try the authentic.
Have you had the worm? Like inside the
tequila?
Lollipops? Like not but like the little lollipops. I haven't.
The tequila one?
Yeah, the lollipops, so the fucking bug inside.
I never got to the
bug.
bottom. I won't try to.
I'm good on that.
But I heard like if you drink the tequila worm, like you get fucked up.
You get fucked.
Like you get fucked up even more. I might have. I don't remember.
I don't know. Well, this has been an episode of ExtraNormal Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you follow us, like everything, subscribe, push that bell for notifications if you're watching on the videos. Make sure you rate us if you're listening on your favorite podcast app. Email us at extranormalpodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on all the social medias at ExtraNormal Podcast. Oh, you can find us wherever. We're all over the place. We're floating around. We're around. You'll see us. Thank you for listening, and happy Halloween time.